Hi everybody, welcome to another Linfield Coaches CatChat. Joe Stuart out here in the Linfield Tennis Center with head women's tennis coach Ella Maliska Riddle. Ella, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thank you, Joe. How are you?
Really good, and I imagine you are doing really good as you guys just last weekend clinched your second regular season Northwest Conference title in your time as head coach. I gotta ask, how does it feel to have already achieved a pretty high level of success? I know the goals are higher, I know you've got your sights set down the road, but having already achieved so much in your young career, how does it feel?
I mean, obviously it feels great. I'm really lucky though because I came into a really talented program with girls that were already fantastic tennis players and kind of understood the winning culture, like because they'd won for the last few years before. So that was obviously really fortunate, but it's fantastic to just see them continue to be really successful.
Yeah, and you guys have absolutely rolled through the season this year, 12-2, 8-0 in conference, ending the year on an 11-game win streak, and you've barely dropped flights, it seems like, all over the place. I mean, you guys have won over 90% of both your doubles and singles flights this year against conference. How has the team been able to perform at such a high level so consistently, match in and match out this year?
Yeah, I think a big part of that is their work ethic in practice. They really spend a lot of time in the weight room and then obviously on the tennis court, and they're really effective at practice, which pays off into the weekend. And then it's really about the fact that we have 8 players that all work hard as a team.
Yeah.
So it's not just about one player, it's about everybody that's on the court, and so that helps a lot.
Still working hard right now,
yes.
As you all can see right behind us, getting warmed up for today's practice. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty a little bit more. Tessa Kern coming into the year expected to be your number one. She's obviously been battling health issues all year. A lot of times you've kind of had her sit through or play through doubles, sit in singles. She's only been able to go 1-5 in singles, but still has been really, really effective in doubles. How much do you think you're going to be able to rely on her in her postseason with her health?
I think the biggest thing about Tess is that she's a senior and she knows what it takes to win. And we've just had to be really smart about when we need her and saving her body for when's appropriate. And so again, it's been amazing that we've had a team that's will step up when she can't play. I have no doubt in my mind that Tess is going to take care of business this weekend like she needs to.
Awesome, that's what we love to hear. Just a little bit of load management, right?
Yes, exactly.
But looking at Maggie Fiocchi, talk about dominance this year. I mean, you haven't had her playing in too many of the high flights for singles, but she's gone unbeaten in singles and conference and on a 10-match win streak now. How has her consistency played into, as a senior, you know, leading the rest of this group just every week?
Well, I think it's because, you know, in tennis you don't just win a match by winning the 1 and 2 position. Like, you have to win 1 through 6, and so having people in your lineup that you can just rely on at the bottom end right there to just take care of business. I mean, and on any other team, Maggie would be playing in one of those top positions. She's an incredibly talented player, so I'm really lucky to be able to play her at that spot, and for her to just own it every single week and just lead the team has been amazing.
And looking at Taryn Fujimori, I mean, she's a player who has, you know, struggled a little bit early on, but over the last second half of the season, certainly through conference, has completely put together, picked up a couple Student Athlete of the Week awards. Kind of feels like you guys should have more than the 2 that you have, but that's editorializing a little bit. How has she kind of been able to put a little bit of a rough start behind her and elevate to becoming one of the best players in the conference? Yeah,
I mean, Taryn's got fantastic natural tennis ability and she's worked very hard as a junior. We've been really working with Taryn on how to adapt to this playing style. She came from Division 1. It's a very different style of tennis in Division 1, and so she's learning to adapt to the opponents that she's playing here, and she's really put in that work. Especially last year we started to see it start to happen, and then this year, after getting warmed up into the season, she's really come into her own and is like finding her groove, and that's been fantastic to see her development.
That's excellent. I want to go a little bit younger, as the young guns have played very well also this year. Sarah Forrester is only a sophomore, has been incredibly, has just performed incredibly, Emma Tuttle, unbeaten as a freshman. Same with Alexis Garner. You haven't had her playing quite as much as those other 2, but how have they been able to already just achieve, you know, just the records that they have, especially with Emma and Alexis in their first seasons as college athletes?
Yeah, and Sarah's another one very similar to Taryn that I asked, you know, a lot of her to work on some stuff, and she wasn't in the lineup last year, and she was very adamant about, like, what do I need to do, coach, to get in, and I gave her those things, and she worked her butt off this summer, and it's very clearly paying off.
That's
because
awesome.
It's showing now in conference, and being able to have her in that position and win those matches she has as a sophomore is great. And then Emma was amazing at Whitman. There was in her doubles match, clinching that number 3 doubles and serving it out. She served it out as a freshman is not not an easy thing to do.
No.
And so it's really cool to see her mental toughness already. And although Alexis hasn't seen the court a ton this year, it doesn't mean that she's any less of a talented player. We just have such a deep team.
Right.
And when she has seen the court, like the last weekend she played 6 on Friday and Saturday, winning both those matches like super effectively is amazing. So she'll do a lot of growth for the next 4 years, I'm sure.
Good problem to have,
yes,
absolutely.
Exactly.
All right, talking doubles a little bit, you have mixed around the pairings
yes.
quite a bit. Some of that's been health related,
yes.
some of it's, I'm sure, just to see what you have, who plays well together. They've all played well together, you know, 25-2 in doubles against conference this year. It kind of seems like Taryn and Lexi Matsunaga, I beg your pardon, have kind of put it together as the top pairing, but what do you see right now here as your top doubles team?
Yeah, and so, you know, we have our regular doubles lineup, and Lexi and Tess have played together for, you know, a lot of the top matches,
sure.
and I do believe that they are my number one pair and are the most effective up there at that number one spot. I love Maggie and Taryn together because they're just so athletic and dynamic, and they play so well.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky that the girls have been really flexible, and when I've asked them to switch pairings because of injuries or people not being able to play for certain reasons, they've done that, and we are a doubles team. We play a lot of doubles. It's doubles day to day at practice, so everyone's pretty hyped, but yeah.
That's awesome.
Great.
Yeah, no, I'm sure doubles, I don't think anybody is concerned about how things will go.
Yes.
So finally, just what are your expectations for this weekend? And I certainly don't mean to get ahead of things, but what do you think the ceiling for this team can be?
Yeah, I mean, for this weekend, I just want them to realize that like pressure is a privilege, and we had a lot of fun going up to the Wits because, you know, Whitman was ranked ahead of us this year. They're a super talented team. They've got a really great roster of freshmen, and so they got to go there and just fight and play free, and I'll ask them to do exactly the same thing this weekend, even though now they're coming to us and that we've beaten them. Like, I expect that exact same thing. Like, embrace it, realize that, yeah, there is a little bit of pressure now, but like I still want them to play with that fire that they had up in Washington. And if they're willing to do that, then I don't really see a ceiling. I think we can continue going. It doesn't matter the talent that you have. It's about like how you work together as a team. So.
That's what we love to hear.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be a great conference tournament and hopefully a deep run into the postseason as the Linfield women's tennis team looks to continue their reign of dominance over the Northwest Conference over the last few years. They'll be hosting the Northwest Conference tournament first round on Saturday with the semifinal at 10 o'clock against Whitworth, and they'll play the winner, assuming that they win, sorry, can't get ahead of myself again, play the winner of George Fox and Whitman in the final on Sunday at noon, and we'll have live coverage of it all for you on the Linfield Sports Network. Coach, thanks for the time.
Thank you very much.